Hello. I want all of you to get up right away. Get up. Not slow like he is asking you to do. Quick. Take a pen in your hand. Pen. If you have no pen, glasses. No glasses, just your finger. I want you to turn clockwise. Clockwise. Keep on turning. Go down, go down, go down, go down. What are you looking at? Counterclockwise. What do you do? Stop, sit down. You're in control. You're in full control. You have it in your hand, and the goddamn same pen is going from clockwise to counterclockwise. Well, that's how I want you to start thinking when you listen to the possible futures. Look at the same reality, but look at that reality with a complete different eye. And this is what we need to do. But before I start in diving into that, I have to ask myself, how come I'm the one who's speaking last? How come I have the privilege of being here? And it's not just because of me, because it's of so many people who've been in dialogue with me, who've guided me, who've mentored me. And that includes great Japanese like Okita Saburo. You remember him? Honda, I used to know, I learned to know in 1980, and many others. We have to always remember when we can come to the positions we're now, we are who we are, because we had the privilege of being mentored by so many others. Now, I have a special relationship with orangutan. Maybe you know that I constructed this first ecological factory back in 1992 in Belgium. And I brought the biodegradable soaps to the mainstream market, not realizing that I was using a fatty acid from a palm oil, for which demand rose so much that they destroyed the rainforests in Indonesia, including the habitat of the orangutan. I realized biodegradability has nothing to see with sustainability. I needed to look at that same reality from the other angle. And I needed to redefine what is sustainability. And for me, sustainability is the capacity to respond to the basic needs of all with what we have. If we take that as a basic principle, you will have to look at that reality in a completely different way. But this is the way that everything works on this earth, the ecosystems. And when we're wanting to look at that same reality, we have to look at that reality through the eyes of a child. Because if we're only teaching the children what we know, they can never ever do better than we are doing today. We have to create that degree of freedom, that space. And we cannot behave like all the pelicans, who all seem to be going in the same direction, right? Well, check him out. There's an exception. There's another one. And there's another one. But then look at this guy here. He just puts his head in the water. He doesn't want to know about what's going on. You're here, as some of the few people, you have to look the other direction. You can't look the same way. And therefore I'm asking you, when you look at this beautiful picture, ask yourself, what is the most abundant source of energy freely available? Gravity! Yes, because the sun only shines on half of the earth, half of the day. Gravity works all the time, and we don't use it at all. It somehow slipped out of our perspective. Why? We have to be inspired by nature, but we cannot only look at this, the obvious we look at, like the sun. Like we did in this building, together with Edward Suzuki. Where are you, Edward? Hey. This is a building inspired by no one else than the zebras, playing with black and white. Inspire yourself. Just about every single solution that we're needing to resolve now, we can find in natural systems. And so therefore, when I look at the possible future, I need to force you to look at that possible future with what you have. Nothing else. And let's then look at this here. This is a water treatment plant. It costs money. This is your garbage, and to take it away, it costs money. If you put your garbage, organic components, into a water treatment plant sludge, you generate biogas. Massive biogas. We've done the studies. The first plant is operational in Korea. For 1 million people, you generate 50 million cubic meters. 10 million, 500 million. 100 million people, Japan, 5 billion cubic meters of biogas is generated. Can you imagine how many tanker ships of petroleum that is? This is base load energy. This is energy that is permanently available because your wastewater and your solid organic waste from your kitchen is guaranteed. But we don't put it together. It means that we have 100 gigawatts, more than 100 gigawatts available in Japan, and you don't look at it. You don't realize it. And if you have then now these transmission towers, let's think about the future of wind. Listen to this. Every single tower can be equipped with vertical wind turbines. Vertical wind turbines which are able to give us wind according to the size of the pole. So instead of having these big towers constructed, and then you have a horizontal one with an enormous pressure. Now you put them just like this, inside an existing pillar or tower that is already operational and already has a building permit, an operational permit. It works. It's cheap. It functions. And only 50,000 of these pylons equipped in Japan equals 2 nuclear power stations, 4 to 5 gigawatts. Japan, wake up! You have it! And you know, between you deciding to do it and implementation, deciding to do it and implementation, in this technology, 6 months. Don't you want to have some solutions quickly? Now let's talk about the future of solar. I didn't shave my beard well enough, eh? You hear that. The future of solar. Here is one of the greatest inventions of a young Swede who looked at that little solar panel, the photovoltaic, and he said, amazing, I'm studying physics. I can use it on both sides. Did you know that solar can be used on both sides? We only use one side. And then by using optics, no moving parts, no things that follow the sun, solely by doing the optics in a film at nanoscale, he's able to concentrate the available light, factor 3.5, and shine it on the bottom, so that that same little cell now gives you 4.5 times more energy with 3 times less material. Cost? 1 kilowatt hour, less than 1 yen. Wake up. Solutions are there. Not only are they there, they're available. They're available, they're being installed. The numbers I'm mentioning to you are the numbers for Sweden. The facility you see here is 400 kilometers north of Stockholm, and it works. Future of landfills. We have an agreement in South Africa to use those new type of solar panels, and we put them on landfills because the space is available. You're not competing with anything else. Only with 1,500 of these pylons, one of these 1,500 hectares on the landfill with those panels, we generate an embarrassing 5 gigawatts. I'm saying it's embarrassing because it's so simple, it's embarrassing. It's so obvious, it's embarrassing. And why don't we do it? Here is the statistics I presented last week in Berlin for the German government. The blue line is the exit of nuclear, paying additional for the available technologies. The red line is the implementation of the 3 technologies I've just presented. It means that on average per year, we save 48 billion euros. Introducing these new technologies gives you the cash flow to pay for the closure of the nuclear and the building of the new. The three technologies I presented, in the case of Germany, represents no more than a 25 billion euro investment. Payback, 36 months. Who said renewables are not competitive? We've just not been looking where they are competitive. We've not been looking at the same reality from the other angle. It's about time we do it. And what's going to happen here next summer? I was with TEPCO. TEPCO claims everything's okay. You believe them? TEPCO claims that there will be enough offer and demand. I don't think so. What are the available resources in the world to secure that Tokyo is Tokyo and you don't heat up at 30 degrees and 100% humidity inside the buildings? Here's a proposal we presented to TEPCO, floating electricity. We can get the ships right away. They can leave on Monday, and those ships will be filled with biodiesel, and they're equipped with generators, and they can start pumping electricity into the grid, even from international waters out. Just the way that oil platforms are powered. That's the way they power oil platforms. And of course, Japan has no oil platforms around, so they don't have these ships around. The ships are guaranteed to be able to come. Morten, where are you? Morten Sondergaard. There he is. He's the one who's getting the ships. Committed the ships to come to Japan. We need, though, TEPCO to recognize that even if they put up 1.5 gig extra, and it's more or less okay, what about if it's more or less not okay? 144 megawatt per hour can be generated by one ship that operates in biofuel. If it comes from Dubai, it stops in Indonesia, fills with biofuels, comes here. Solutions are around with what is available, and we can do it now. Final case is on farming. I appreciate several of the speakers before. I love this little film that makes things grow. Lovely. Here is a technology that's been introduced based on physics. It's a technology that we call seawater farming, and here you see a picture of the first one implemented in Sydney, Australia. But we're not putting salt water on the plants. We're using salt water to create evaporation on the top and have a temperature differential organized so that the moisture is so strong within the structure that you will always have water. Purified. Use physics to farm. It works. I've presented you here just 4 examples of the more than 100 that I present in the Blue Economy. I present them open source on the internet every week. I think Kurokawa-sensei, you get them every week. At least I see you open the file. 55 are published. But we need more. We need to translate it into action. And we need to go back to what my mentor, Shuichiro Honda, said to me when in 1980 I had time to spend in his office. His wisdom was to me, for the rest of my life, some people dream to escape reality. Other people dream to change reality forever. Come on, you guys, change reality forever in Japan. Thank you.